needed.
I played every Animal Crossing game in 2024. I stole this idea. Now you guys may know Animal Crossing as the game where you try to dig your way out of an inescapable debt, which eventually leads to you having to give in to this red raccoon while trying to be the mayor of the town that you live in and trying to help every single resident of your little island to make them satisfied and not to make them leave your town. But it wasn't always like that. We're gonna go through every single Animal Crossing game, including the mobile ones, the DLC ones, and the Japanese ones, and even the shitty ones, and rating them 1 through 10. 1 being absolutely horrid and would never play the game ever and would rather eat my own dog's shit than to play the game ever again, while 10 being amazing. With that being said, let's start with the first one. Animal Crossing released in April 14th, 2001. Now this game is the game that started it all for the amazing series that we all know and love today. Now, already right off the bat, this music, this amazing music that you'll be able to recognize right from the start. If I were to show you this music, you'd probably recognize it. Not by the name, but just recognize it. Now, sadly, this game did come out on the GameCube, which it didn't sell well. At least not in the North American servers, or not servers. What? Not in the North American region. So, you know, but for some reason, a lot of people do like this game and have very fond memories of this in North America. Have very fond memories of the Animal Crossing in America, which is weird. But what are you gonna do? However, this game was pretty cool, and it's creative in itself and in its own manner because it brings a whole new aspect to the whole simulation thing. I feel like talking to like little fucking animals, working for a fucking raccoon. I mean, what else could you want? What else could you want, to be honest? Get out of debt. I mean, yeah, it's an amazing game. I mean, overall, my experience with this game was actually pretty fun, considering it already gives you a lot to do right off the bat. It does. It gives you so much to do in the first hour. It makes you talk with the villagers. It makes you work with Tom Nook. It makes you beautify, in a sense, the island. It makes you work on your house as well. I mean, there's so much to do already. And for the 2000s, it had pretty good graphics, I'd assume. I mean, but then again, like every 2000s game had this type of graphics. But without that aside, I think this game. Oh, and there's this one thing that I did forget to mention. It had this cool ass feature. It's where you would buy like these little NES games, and you would put them into like this machine that you would buy at some point. And then once you buy those little games, those NES games, you could play them. So it'd be you're playing a game inside another game. So it's basically like an emulator inside the game. It's weird. It's a whole. I need to show y'all this. Like, there's probably gonna be a clip playing right now as I'm speaking, but it's awesome. It's fucking awesome. So, yeah. I mean, the worst part about it is probably that there was no internet features, because you would have to get the cartridge or like get this little SD card thing, memory card that would come with the game, and shove it into someone else's GameCube. And the only way you would be able to quote unquote play with them, which in reality you wouldn't really play with them, you'd just visit their island. That was really it. They wouldn't even be able to play. They're just there. Like, their island is just there. So I'm gonna give it like a little rough rating, and I'm gonna be a little bit strict on this. I'm gonna give it a 5, because although it gave me tons of things to do, it was kind of like a better than a wow, you know what I mean? So I personally don't think it deserves to get a higher thing. I mean, I'll put it at 6. I'll definitely put it at 6, mainly because it's cool. It's a fun game, and it's a game that started the whole series. So I'm probably gonna put it at a 6 minimum. So yeah.
GameCube.
Dobutsu no Mori released 2 years after this whole shenanigans with the original Animal Crossing releasing. Isn't really a new game. It's more of a DLC type of thing. But since DLCs weren't actually a thing back then. What they would do is they would make you get your Game Boy Advanced, and once you have your Game Boy Advanced, they'd put like a little card scanner like connected to the game itself, and then you would go like, scan it, and then after that it would go straight to the GameCube, and it would include all types of things, whether it be fishes, whether it be new insects, whether it be new villagers, etc, etc. It would include new things basically, but you would have to buy the scanner. I think it was called like a pack. I think it was called like a game pack or something like that. It wasn't spelled pack like P-A-C-K, P-A-K. That's how it was spelled, pack. And essentially it was the same thing. It was the same thing as the normal Animal Crossing, but it was not only was it in specifically Japanese regions, meaning only the Japanese, wow, meaning Japan was the only region that had that. So we wouldn't have that. Basically, we didn't have that, and it didn't really do anything. It was just something that Japan had. So yeah, I'm gonna give this like a 3 or 4 out of 10 because for its quote-unquote downloadable content, it wasn't really anything special besides just adding new characters. So I'm probably gonna give that like a 3 or 4 because they basically made you spend more money on something that you didn't want to, like, that wasn't really necessary in my opinion. So yeah. Animal Crossing Wild World, released in 2005, November 23rd. This game actually got a few awards because of how good it was. Personally, when I first played it, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I believe it or not, although it introduced a lot of new features and a lot of new cool mechanics that we all know and love today in the game, I didn't like the gameplay style. I mean, don't get me wrong, the game itself was kind of fun. It's just like the normal one. It's just like the one from before. It's just its predecessor. But I guess using the stylus, it just got me, and it got on my nerves. I hate using my stylus sometimes. But this game was actually, for the most part, it introduced a lot of things like, if you did not take care of your flowers, they would die. They would wilt. Like, if you did not take care of them, they would die, and it would lower your rating on Animal Crossing. You're not even really like a mayor or anything like that. You're just a person moving in. So you're still not mayor. You're still not residential fucking whatever you are in New Horizons. You're just a normal villager. You're still all a normal villager. Until you become mayor, that's later into the game series. This is the pinnacle of what started everything from then on out. It's actually a really good game. It's most famous because of that. Personally, I just didn't like it because it just wasn't my style. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everything was good. Wow. Everything was good. Do not get me wrong about that. But I just didn't like its playing style. I do like the fact that they like utilized the whole dual screen right there. I think that's probably like the only thing that I liked. How you could see like the map up there. Actually, no, this one I keep mixing it up with the 3DS. I don't think you would be able to see the map on the bottom. I think you could only see the stars or like the sun or something like that on the top, if I remember correctly. And then it would move only if you're using like the inventory or using the map or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna rate this game like I'm gonna rate this one a 6, hard 6.5. Mainly because, like I said, it wasn't my game. It wasn't my type of game. However, I'm putting it above the normal one or the original one, because it just, well, obviously has more features. It has better features, if anything. Sadly, they didn't bring back the whole NES game thing, so I'm kind of bummed about that. So yeah, 6.5 is gonna be my final answer. My final rating. So yeah. Animal Crossing City Folk, releasing in 2008, November 16th on the Wii. Right off the bat, we already have so much to unpack in this game. I'm gonna name off a few, like the features and like just etc. What I found interesting about it. Definitely, what brought me into this game immediately was the graphics. Mainly because I was comparing it to Wild World and the GameCube one. The graphics were just beautiful. They were beautiful, in my opinion. But then again, they also had like a whole fucking 3-year hiatus to fucking work on this one. So yeah, and I believe they upgraded the whole thing on like, you know, designing your own character and whatnot, and they added so much to this game. Like they also, I believe one of the main features that everyone was excited about was bringing your character from the DS Wild World and bringing it all the way to City Folk. I don't remember how people would do it, but I know it was it was possible. Obviously, I couldn't play it because I'm like a little bit late to this, but I was able to play it through an emulator. So yeah, right out the bat, it was just so exciting to see like the stuff that I could do and whatnot. It it was fun. It was a very fun game. And if you couldn't tell, there's also a city all the way in the north, I want to say. Basically, there's a city up there in the north side, I believe, and everything that you saw in Wild World would be up there, just bunched up into one little place. So that was that. And then there was also at some point, I couldn't play this because the servers all shut down, and I also was playing this on an emulator. There were these online features that I found so fun, which was proximity chat. I would have killed to do proximity chat in Animal Crossing. It wasn't exactly proximity chat. It was more of, if you were all the way in the city and I was all the way in the shore, I could still hear you loud and clear. But it was definitely like an amazing feature. There's also, you know, texting on quote unquote texting through messages. There was also sending letters to your online friends via the internet. I don't know how they made that work, but it works, I guess. And it was an amazing game. It's an amazing game. I'm gonna put it at a 7.5 because of how amazing this game was. But nothing compares to my favorite game that we're about to discuss right now. And so yeah. Animal Crossing New Leaf, November 8th. What? Released 2012, November 8th on the 3DS. This game is the game that basically started it all for me. It introduced Animal Crossing to me as a kid. I loved the game. I spent a lot of time on it. The soundtrack is very nostalgic. Which is funny because my first games were actually on Roblox. And I know this has nothing to do with Roblox, but for some reason, the creator of a game that I played a lot, they would use this soundtrack from Animal Crossing New Leaf, and they put it on that game. And I thought that it was the other way around, that the Animal Crossing used their soundtrack, and I was like, oh, what the hell, they're using theirs. But then, you know, this whole thing came out, and I was like, it's a weird story, but this game is awesome. To the soundtrack, to its graphics, to its gameplay, every single thing. This one is, I believe, the first game where you become mayor. Because I remember this because of the tree. I remember planting a huge ass tree in the game at the beginning. I think that's where you become mayor of the town. So this is probably my favorite game. I'm gonna leave it at a 10 out of 10 just because I'm very biased towards this game. So there's probably only gonna be 2 10 out of 10s. I'm assuming you guys can guess which one's the other 10 out of 10. Yeah, but this game is awesome. It introduced tons of new features that I remember. I think it was Reese. It was like a llama guy. It was a I don't know what he was, but it was a llama, and it was with her husband and his wife. And I think it was like taking photos or something like that. It was cool. It was cool though. And I believe it added like a little town all the way in the back, and it basically fixed what City Folk hadn't done right, in a sense, or what Wild World had done wrong, I guess. So yeah, I love that. I love that one. It was awesome. So yeah, that's probably. I have nothing else much to say to this besides, it's perfect down to its minute detail. It's amazing. It's a 10 out of 10 game. I don't want to rate it anything else. I can't rate it anything else. I'm sorry. And remember, this is just me being biased, and this is my opinion based on all of these games. So if you disagree with me rating the other ones lower than New Leaf or higher than New Leaf, then that's completely fine. But yeah, this is just my favorite one. So yeah. Okay, so I'm not gonna give this one too much attention because it's really not that important. But this one's released in 2013, August 7th. This one's Animal Crossing Plaza. This one's actually not just a game or a DLC at all. It's actually just a little app that's basically the Miiverse feature, like the one from the Wii U, but in an Animal Crossing form. So basically, just Miiverse. So I'm just gonna go ahead and rate it a 2 out of 10. There's literally nothing so special about that. Besides, instead of like our Mii characters, it's Animal Crossing characters, quote, like just using our thoughts or our posts, but it's the Animal Crossing characters saying them. So I think it's completely useless. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate it like a 2. 2. I'm debating on whether a 2 or 3 out of 10 because of the next game that I'm gonna announce, or the one after that one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and rate it 2.5. There, a 2.5. So yeah. Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer released on July 30th, 2015. This one is a DLC for the 3DS Animal Crossing New Leaf. This one is, I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 10. Mainly because it's really nothing special. I mean, if you like designing stuff for other villagers and you like doing stuff for them, then go right ahead. This is your game. This is your shit. You take it, man. But it's not really that, unique. It doesn't really stand out to me. It does introduce a new couple of characters. Well, 2 new characters, I believe. Actually, no, 3 I believe. Yeah, so it introduces a few more characters. I think it gives you like a new suit, I guess. Other than that, I think it's like a 4 or 4.5. I'm trying to be as strict as possible, but at the same time, I don't want to I don't know. I guess I'm gonna give this a 4.5 just because I only played it for like a bit. It wasn't that exciting. I stopped playing like after 30 minutes. So it wasn't my like best choice out of all of them, but it's better than Plaza and the Butsu no Mori E Plus. So I mean, I'll put it above those. So yeah. Fuck! No. Just no. Who thought this was a good idea? We're not gonna even mention the name of it, dude. This shouldn't even be considered a game. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. We're not gonna go any further than that. 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. Whoever thought this was a good idea, they need to get fired. They need to get fired immediately. I'm sorry. This is a horrible idea. Next one. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp released in 2017, October 25th. This one was actually on mobile, unlike the other ones, where it was just released on consoles. And for some reason, it's oddly fun. I played it for the first hour and it turned into 2 hours and so on and so forth, which is weird because not all of these games I can say that, except for New Leaf and New Horizons. So that was pretty fun. Something very different from the other games is that you do need internet to play this game. If you don't have internet, then you're fucked and you can't play this game. Another thing is that there's different islands for certain things that you want to do. Like, let's say you want to go fish, there's a fishing island. Or let's say you want to go catch bugs, there's a catching bug island. Like, etc., etc. Like, things like that, And it's different because you don't actually own a house or anything like that. You mainly, I think you go in a van. You travel in a van. And you create your own island. Like, customize it, I guess. Kind of like a mix of Happy Home Designer and Animal Crossing. It's like in the mix in between, because you're still doing the stuff that you would do in a normal Animal Crossing, but you're also doing stuff that you would do in Happy Home Designer, except you're not designing anything for the other Animal Crossing people, or the animals, I guess. So yeah, it's a very new approach to simulation. I like it. I liked it a lot. So I'm gonna give this like a 7 out of 10. I want to say 6 or 7, and it's very cool because it also gets like you're in a van instead of a house, and you get to customize the van, which I find pretty cool. I liked it. So yeah. It also introduces 3 new characters as well as these penguin guys. I don't remember what exactly they were. I believe they were just mechanics. So that's pretty cool. And it also introduces friendship levels, I guess. And you're basically just a camp manager, which I felt like that was pretty cool. Now, for it being a mobile game, I'm going to give it a 7 around there. Mainly because it's a good game. It's a good game for a mobile game. So I mean, I don't want to give it anything higher. So yeah. Now for the game that we've all been waiting for, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Releasing on March. Damn. Okay. Releasing on 2020 March 20th. Animal Crossing released for the Switch, and we all know and love this one because it's our favorite Animal Crossing game by far. This is going to be in the 10 out of 10, mainly because it's fucking awesome. I don't care what anybody says, it's perfect. It's genuinely perfect. It has perfected itself when it comes to gameplay, when it comes to things to do, when it comes to multiplayer, when it comes to all of that. It's perfected itself to every single thing it is good at. Hey, if it got a nomination for Game of the Year at some point, then it must be good. I mean, it literally has 95% of the people that bought that game loved it. So I don't understand how people can just, not like this game. Personally, my personal experience, I've already completed the whole game like 3 times now. It's awesome. It's a fun game. I don't know how you wouldn't play it. So yeah, it's a very fun game. I recommend you guys try it. And I might as well just stick with, while I'm here, I'm also gonna talk about Happy Home Paradise, which is just the same thing as Happy Home Designer for the New Leaf thing, just on the Switch. It releases new people, but it's the same concept. It just releases new characters, it releases more things, and it's just more options on how to design someone's house. That's literally all it is. So New Horizons, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Happy Home Designers, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10 as well. So yeah, I believe those are all the games to my knowledge. So yeah, I think that's that. I think we've rated all of the games. Damn. So that's gonna do it for today. I know this video isn't really what you guys expected, considering I usually never do these type of videos where it's like a rating a series type of thing. I'm probably never gonna do this again unless this actually does get positive views, I guess, if that makes sense. If you guys want me to review or rate any like other new or any video game series, just let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to play the games. I've been meaning to do this video specifically and for a while now because I happen to have most of the games in physical copy. I just didn't have a way to put them to record them, I guess. And I had to do it on an emulator. And even then, most of these clips that I would show in this video aren't even my clips. They're from other YouTubers. So, yeah. I know this wasn't the best video that y'all wanted. So, hopefully next week I have something better for y'all. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.